1v1 Zerg versus Protoss. To introduce our players. Over here spawning at the bottom corner we have Wargwolf, and at the top right corner we have Black Mech. This is going to be a Protoss versus Zerg here on Antiga Shipyard. I really have nothing to say at the beginning. Let's bring up the production tab. We see drones and probes being made. This is a really early scout. I sense a cannon cheese. I do not know why. This is not a proper forge wall in. So yeah, this is I can smell the cannon cheese from a couple of countries away, I'd say. Although cannon rushing a Zerg is not a very good idea. I don't think I've... Just because of the creep. You see, I don't really know what's up with this creep. Your buildings survive just fine on it, but you don't want to warp in anything on it. It's like, ew, this thing is disgusting, so I'm not going to build my buildings on it. But it's okay if I already have this on my buildings. Complaining. Overlord is going to be actually scouting the wrong... Well, I don't know, I usually like to scout this way. Or actually, most of the time I just forget to scout with the Overlord, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah. We have a Forge expand right now, I guess. After blue scouted, red is playing Zerg, he probably would just give up the cannon rush. Although really you can cannon rush a natural here, is there's due to the lack of an Overlord. Usually you put an Overlord on top of your hatchery to grant you vision, so that this kind of shit doesn't happen. Now let's take a look at our red player's cam. I don't know if he can actually see this. No, he has absolutely no idea this is happening. Usually I like to send my second Overlord down here to spot things like this. So yeah, we do have Overlord here scouting the Forge. Forge first. That does open up the possibility of a cannon rush. Although we do have an early third from our red player. Ballsy against the Protoss. I would only do this after I confirmed a expansion here, because right now there's no expansion here at all. Now usually a wall in would indicate an expansion, but they can still... This isn't really a lot, and in the lower levels of play, it doesn't matter, really. There's a lot of drones pulled to kill off this one probe. These cannons probably will finish. There is a lot of drones being pulled right now. Should have probably pulled earlier and not had to pull as many. But the cannons are going to be done, and this is just going to be bad for our red player. The one cannon is going to go down. Let's take a look at how many workers are being killed right now. So far 4. Going up 5, 6, 7. Really should focus down this weak worker. He does that. 8. 9 workers killed. Can he get another one? Yes, he can. Actually, this one might go down. This cannon rush shouldn't be doing this much damage at all. Okay, we have 13 workers lost. That's a nice lead for our blue player right now. Throwing down his own expansion. We do have 3 bases for our red player though. Let's close this really giant window that's blocking up our screen right now. Take a look at the units tab. We have 19 to 13 workers. Blue, you really should have more workers. You fail at life. I really should leave this pylon alone, because after the creep spreads, that pylon area is going to be covered in creep, so there's no more cannons that's going to be coming up. The only thing you have to worry about is a warp in, but you should probably get enough lings to kill the pylon off when warp gate finishes. So there's really no point in killing the pylon with drones. It's just taking up mining time. Now we do have 3 hatcheries up. Drone count almost caught up right now. Units tab. No, not income tab. Zerg is actually ahead in the income right now. I think after a cannon rush that killed off a bunch of drones, you kind of want to assume the Protoss will be in the lead. I think maybe he was just staring at the cannon rush this whole time while he was cannon rushing. Yeah, income just going way high for our Zerg player right now. Take a look at units. We have 29. Our blue Protoss actually caught up on the worker count. The Zerg player, take a look at production, is making a lot of drones. And 3 spine crawlers, just kind of overkill, I guess. You kind of want maybe 1 here and 1 here, but there's really no point in getting any more. Static defenses are always... I always prefer units over static defenses. There's just another thing about a lot of people care about DPS and just outright flat damage, but not a lot of people care about damage per area. These static defense take up quite a bit of area, so your damage per area isn't going to be as good. Now, if you take a Stalker against a Marauder, I think the Stalker actually, it's just 1 Stalker against 1 Marauder. I think actually the Stalker beats the Marauder. Either that or the Marauder survives with very little HP. But if you have an army of Marauders against an army of Stalkers, then you clearly see who's going to win if they're equal in numbers. That's just because the Marauder model is a lot smaller, and you can fit a lot more of them in a firing line. The same thing can be said for these structures. Base defense structures take up a lot of space, so they're not going to have a lot of damage per area. So they might have a lot of DPS, but the total firing line isn't going to be as effective if it's full of structures. That's why I kind of prefer units over structures for defense. Now, we do have a pretty nice wall over here. We don't have the warp gate going down. I don't know why that is. We do have 4 gas geysers going down, and we have 3 stargates going down. This is about as air committed as you can probably get. I don't even think you can support this many units, this many stargates off of 2 bases. Although, if you're floating a lot of minerals and gas, you probably can. He's going to be able to afford 2 Void Rays right off the bat, and probably get 1 Phoenix just to start building up the energy. Our Zerg player is making more spines. Please stop it with the spine. This one especially, this one is going to slow down your gas mining, although you can really move it. I'd like to see some lack of creep spread connecting the bases. There was a Stalker in here which I missed. I don't know how that got in there, but it got owned by a couple of drones. Take a look at the worker loss tab again. Well, I did manage to kill 2 workers, so I guess it kind of makes it worth it. Although not really, just because it costs 50 gas. But yeah, we do have a lot of pylons going down for our blue player. Apparently a not supply block. He just seems to like pylons. We have a mass Phoenix coming out of our blue player. Could work potentially, although I usually like to go Void Ray first, then Phoenix. Just because the Void Rays build so slowly, and the Phoenix usually catch up by time you actually make the Phoenix, when they spawn, they fly a lot faster than the Void Rays, so they'll catch up to the Void Rays when your Void Rays get to the opponent's base. We do have a 3rd going down for our blue player, walling off with pylons, not really putting a pylon here at all, so this backdoor rocks could be broken right now and he would just be completely oblivious to it. And I guess he's just gonna spot with the probe. I really like to see a pylon there. I mean, you already put down a 1,000 pylon here. I know that's 5 pylons, but anything over 3 pylons is 1,000 pylons basically. But it's still not going to be enough pylons because you always need to construct additional pylons. Yeah, you're going to really want a pylon here to spot the rocks. Even if you're not paying attention, you can probably spot the rocks. And the units that destroy the rock will probably be trigger happy and hit the pylon, which will generate your base is under attack. A lot of Hydras out for our red player. I don't know if he scouted the Stargates. Let's see. He does not scout Stargate. He just likes Hydras, I guess. Oh, actually, he did scout 1 Stargate, so I guess that's why he's making the Hydras. Although Phoenix aren't really that bad against Hydras. They can lift the Hydras if there's enough Phoenix around or not enough Hydras around. There's a lot of Queens going down, though. I'd like to see some Spore Crawlers. Usually that's the best defense against Protoss air harass, just because the Phoenix can't pick them off. And now he does see the number of Phoenix on the field, which is a lot. These Hydras will probably get owned by the Phoenix, actually. Phoenix are actually pretty good against Hydras. They're just going to come here and kill off all the Overlords, probably. Although he's really being a coward, and cowards die in shame, so our blue player is probably going to die in shame. I don't know why he split up the Hydras, or either that or they all got picked off. I don't know where they all went. A lot of the Phoenix are getting damaged quite a bit. We do have carriers on the way for our... he actually cancelled those and he made more Phoenix. But yeah, just Mass Phoenix against Zerg. I guess I can try going Mass Phoenix as another fun game. But I don't really see Mass Phoenix being useful at all. I mean, yeah, you can get 5 of them to lift up a queen in case one dies. Because one Graviton Beam with 4 Phoenix can kill off a queen with equal upgrades. So basically if you have 5, then 1 can be shot down in the process and still harass the queens. 5 Phoenix is also a good number for destroying the economy of the other player. This is a lot of Hydras on the ground. Mass Phoenix, the thing is it doesn't really do anything against structures, so if we see a couple of spores being set up, these Phoenix are going to be useless. Although they can DPS the Overlords down, like that. Oh, this is a really heavy Phoenix commitment. Also, Imbafester just locked it down completely. Those queens are going to get picked up and owned. Phoenix are just a really fast unit. Actually, I would like to see our Zerg player do some counterattacks when the Phoenix was being built up. I mean, if you're massing that many Phoenix, you're not going to be on many ground units. But yeah, these Phoenix are just... I don't really understand all the overseers here. This is a massive supply block, by the way. I don't think I've ever seen a bigger supply block. We have a lot of drones getting picked off. One Imbafester can actually probably end this. We do have the lair tech. No Imbafestation pit on the way, though. Creep spread would be useful, especially since there's so many Hydras on the field. We do have carrier production on the way right now. I would like to see some Corruptors out of our Zerg player, actually. He is floating a lot of minerals, so either Imbafestation pit or Spire would be a good choice right now. So basically all the lair tech is a good choice right now. But he doesn't seem to like that. Just because Phoenix can't hit Corruptors at all, they need to deal something crazy like 3 damage. Times 2. I think. These do 5 damage. No, these do 6 damage. So they're going to be doing 4 damage for, times 2 versus Corruptors. And the Corruptors have 250 health, so they can tank Phoenix shots all day. Also, carriers aren't good against Corruptors either. Void Rays are good against Corruptors, but we don't really see any of those right now. And considering how many Phoenix are flying around, we just don't have enough supply for the Void Rays. There's a lot of changelings moving out, actually. I guess if you have the Overseers, you might as well. Although really at this point, maybe Contaminate would be a better idea. Go in here and contaminate the starports, or the stargates. Getting Roaches, I guess he saw the Zealots, so Roaches is a good choice. Another thing about carriers is that they have a lot of units. They're a really fast hitting but low damaging unit. So getting some armor upgrades would be really nice for our Zerg player right now. Although he is getting a double upgrades for range attack and armor. So I guess he can't really get armor any faster than this. I would also like to see some creep spread connecting the bases. I know I said this a billion times. Creep is good. The only reason you would not get creep is if you're playing a ZVZ. And even in a ZVZ, creep is also good for the vision it grants. We do have a couple of spores set up. This one should probably be positioned over here to protect the Vespene gas. Drone saturation on all the bases is really bad. Take a look at units. We do have 35 drones to 51 probes. It's not very often that you see Protoss outworker a Zerg. It's not often you see any race outworker a Zerg. Especially almost double the worker count. That's the Zealots. That's the workers. But yeah, we should definitely see more probes, or drones out of our Zerg player right now. Maybe more Hydras. Corruptors, like I said, would be a really good choice. Imbafester is also a very good choice. Although this is probably just for the hive. Getting pathogen glands will be a sign of getting Imbafesters out. Too many Roaches, if you ask me. A lot of Phoenix doing absolutely nothing. But yeah, one good fungal will lock down all this Phoenix, or at least a good chunk of the Phoenix, enough that they won't be owning all your Overlords. Although I think he morphed all the Overlords into Overseers just so he can keep them with his army. There's also a lot of Overlords here, with Queen and 5 spore crawlers. So I guess the overlords are kind of protected, although this many Phoenix can still DPS it down. It just comes down to if our Protoss player is willing to sacrifice all of those Phoenix to kill a couple of overlords. Although he is going to run the Phoenix right into Hydras, or actually not really. He's going to come in here and find the Hive Tech, and probably pick off a few drones. Nothing much to be said about that. This is way too much gas investment in the Overseers. Probably just leave them beside a spore or something. All these are actually following a drone. His main base is getting attacked right now. The Hydras actually have enough to DPS down the interceptors, although a lot are getting owned by the Phoenix right now. A lot of Phoenix going down, actually. Well, this is why you don't go mass Phoenix. Let's take a look at the units tab, which was already open. We actually have no Phoenix remaining. We do have a little bit of roach buffering for the Hydras, so they don't get owned, and sort of offset the glassness of the glass cannons. All the interceptors going down for our Protoss player. Right now there's enough Hydras to do that. I might actually say it's a good idea to do that right now, just because you don't want to charge into the cannons. And killing the interceptors also damages the Protoss player's economy. Taking sentries out, that's a bad choice. Especially since no force fields are going to be used. Even if force fields is being used, this many Hydras, force fields not going to be doing anything. I actually think these outrange. These have a range of 6. These have a range of 5. So there's absolutely no point, no reason you should be using force fields. You have enough cannons to hold the Hydras right now. Always have the carriers attacking over here. Again, the Corruptors, you should really be getting some Corruptors. Hydra's not going to cut it against this many carriers, especially on a map like this where the carriers can't stay on space. Also, Roaches, not a great choice right now. You should probably kill some of the Interceptors when they were retreating. We have Overseers right now. This can actually be used to bait the Interceptors a bit. We have a DT Shrine on the way for our Protoss player, probably for getting Archons. I can't really imagine DTs being very useful since our red player morphed all his Overlords into Overseers to run away from the Phoenix. So Archons can probably get up in the Hydra's face and deal quite a bit of damage. In terms of tech, we have Hive Tech on the way. Hive Tech already finished. Hive already finished, sorry. But no Hive Tech on the way. No Creep Spread either. This just pains me to watch. This patch of empty ground. We don't have level 2 range attack for our Zerg player coming out. And Protoss upgrade is at +200. I know everyone says Protoss upgrades for weapons is good, but it doesn't mean you should only get the weapons. I mean, really, if we're floating this kind of resources, first of all, probably get some Templars for Archons. Second of all, just get a second Forge and do your upgrades. We do have a lot of gateways coming down here. On production tab, we see 4 gateways and a Spire. Finally, a Spire coming down for our red player. Probably for Corruptors, because Corruptors will just roll over carriers all day. Again, Corruptor with its, I think it has a native 2 armor, which means that these Interceptors will only be doing... what's 7 minus 2? 5 damage. I don't major in math. Okay? I don't major in math. I actually fail at math at all. Every time I see that symbol like that, it makes me feel like throwing a table at someone. But yeah. We do have a lot of Hydras coming out though. Overlord still following a drone guarded by 4 spore crawlers. Creep spread is non-existent. The very good thing about Zerg is the creep spread and how it grants vision, so you can actually get a lot of map vision just from spreading your creep. So I would actually like to see more creep spread out of our red player. In games in general. We do have a lot of carriers over here though. We have 6 carriers. It looks like Blue's content sitting on absolutely no production at all. This is a lot of DTs. I don't know where he got the gas to make them all. I think these cost 150, 150, right? No, 125, 125. This is a pretty gas-heavy army. And he's still floating this much gas. This is a weird game. Take a look at units. We have 15 DT, 6 carriers, and 46 workers against our Zerg players 57. So I guess he caught up on the workers a bit. These carriers are taking the really long way around the map. Damage 8 for interceptors. I think that's a level 3 upgrade on the air. Yeah, the air is fully upgraded. Getting rid of a gas geyser with 300 gas in it, not a big deal. Getting rid of a Hydra den is a big deal actually. We do have a lot of corruptors on the way. Actually, no, we don't have 3 corruptors. Let's see the production tab. We actually see 6 more on the way. 1 just popped right now. The hive is going to go down. That's going to be a huge blow to our Zerg player right now. Although all the interceptors for the Protoss player went down, or a lot of them. If the Spire goes down, this is going to be really bad. Although the Hydras are focusing down all the carriers right now. Spire goes down, 2 carriers go down. I think our Zerg player is going to be fine with the amount of DPS he has out of the Hydras and the Corruptors. Corruptors is also going to be able to be a good meat shield for the Hydras. Since if they're right in the face of the carriers will probably attack them first. Random Sentry is sitting in the middle of the field doing absolutely nothing. Where did the DCs go? Units tab? Apparently the DCs died somewhere. Because there's only 10 now, there used to be 15. These DCs are actually getting morphed into Archons right now. So our Zerg player is going to catch their Templars merging and probably kill them all. I'd like to see some vomiting on the Archons actually. Just because Corruptors only hit air doesn't mean they're worthless against ground. We have Sentries using its attack against Hydras. Force fields do help, doesn't really matter though at this point. This is a lot of Hydras, not enough Roaches for this amount of Hydras, although Protoss is showing a lot of air, so it doesn't really matter right now. 2 Zealots can probably deal some good damage against the Hydras right now. Carriers probably got forgotten and just left there. These can actually be attacking the main right now. And these Overlords are actually... Apparently this base got taken out sometimes. I'll probably buy the DTs. I don't pay attention to these games. But it seems like the natural of our blue player is getting taken out right now. And he says he can't believe I didn't scout your 3rd. Really? He didn't see the 3rd this whole time? Yeah, that's the 2nd he failed at life. Again, an offensive GG from our red player. Although really blue player kind of gave up at that point when he started talking. And also this is a lot of units. So I guess that's an interesting game. Peculiar play out of our blue player with the air and the Mass Phoenix. So overall, a really nice game. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.